Ben Affleck has been on a roll as of late. His personal issues appear to be in the rearview mirror. He is back with the woman of his dreams, and most recently, social media has been on fire with the revelation that he will be back as Batman one more time that no one saw coming, namely in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. What is more, this is a recent development as he is being added in reshoots 6 months after principal photography ended. So why is Aquaman 2 suddenly being tweaked now? And could this signal more of Ben Affleck's Batman in the future? And what of Henry Cavill's Superman? We've checked in with our sources, and in this video we will give you the most up-to-date answers available as we go through everything we know about Batman now being in Aquaman, Ezra Miller's future as the Flash, and Henry Cavill's elusive future as Superman. The story of Affleck's return can be traced back to a picture posted on Jason Momoa's Instagram on July 28th, which prompted stories in the major trades like Deadline Hollywood and The Hollywood Reporter, the latter of which wrote, Affleck previously announced his retirement as Batman in 2019, and has been open about personal and professional strife that came with the role. So it came as a surprise 2 years ago when it was revealed that Affleck was suiting up once more for The Flash, the Ezra Miller starring film due out June 23rd of 2023, and that will also feature Michael Keaton as Batman. Well, actually, Affleck returning for The Flash didn't come as that big a surprise. While they neglected to mention it here, it has been widely reported in the trades before that since Justice League went from a 2-parter to just one movie over the course of its production, Affleck had one more appearance left as Batman in his original contract. Shifting that appearance to The Flash fulfilled that contract and enabled the previous DC administration to use that appearance to end the Snyderverse once and for all, as was the intention at the time. Going back to The Hollywood Reporter, it was assumed The Flash would be Affleck's final time in the role, but now he is poised to return earlier, with Aquaman 2 arriving March 17th of 2023. There's a couple of noteworthy things about that. The first one being, this means reshoots. Here I'd like to point out that not 2 weeks ago, we posted a video in which we maintained that according to the sources of both our own Tom Connors and those of Mikey Sutton, removing Amber Heard from Aquaman 2 was all but a done deal. They just had to work out when the reshoots with Emilia Clarke would happen. Independently of each other, our own Tom and Mikey Sutton had also heard more information that might help explain why Ben Affleck is now suddenly being reshot into Aquaman. Originally, Ezra Miller's Flash was supposed to be released before Aquaman 2, and in the original iteration of The Flash, Ben Affleck's Batman is flash-pointed out of existence, while Michael Keaton's Batman is flash-pointed into this continuity, so that he could help set up a new, safer, more diverse and more inclusive DC universe going forward, which would eventually be led not by him of course, but by the all-new, all-different Trinity, consisting of Batgirl, Supergirl and Wonder Woman, as a stepping stone to get to that, and to bridge the gap between The Flash and Batgirl. Michael Keaton's Batman originally made a surprise cameo in Aquaman 2, which was filmed during principal photography. So remember, the planned order of release while these movies were being developed under the previous regime was, first The Flash, then Aquaman 2, and then finally Batgirl. But then, out there in the real world, things happened which affected that. First and foremost, Ezra Miller revealed just how crazy he is, which prompted The Flash being pushed back to after Aquaman 2. Which means that now the order of the movies is all messed up. According to Tom's sources, test audiences for Aquaman 2 were confused, because as it stands, a wild Michael Keaton suddenly appears out of the blue with no setup or explanation as to how he ended up being in that universe whatsoever. This is why Ben Affleck is now suddenly being brought into Aquaman 2 by way of reshoots. They're cutting Michael Keaton out of it, because without The Flash being released first, Keaton's presence in Aquaman 2 doesn't make a lick of sense. And in order to fill the narrative gap that Keaton's Batman being cut leaves in Aquaman 2, Ben Affleck is being brought in to fill that spot. Tom's sources said something else as well. According to the test screening results, the biggest challenge facing Aquaman 2 isn't Amber Heard, who they're seemingly replacing with Emilia Clarke in Reshoots, or the unexplained Michael Keaton, who they're now replacing with Ben Affleck in Reshoots, but that regardless of the cast, the movie flat out sucks. Keep in mind, Aquaman 2 was overseen by the previous administration, the dream team of Ann Sarnoff, Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada, who together also gave us Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84. Aquaman 2 is their continuation of those, and that's what they want for DC on film. Don't lose all hope yet though. I keep on harping about the previous administration, because David Zaslav came in like a wrecking ball and shit-canned 2 out of 3 of them. And Walter Hamada isn't out of the woods yet. We don't know that this is the case, but let's hope that these reshoots are also meant to address some of the more fundamental issues the movie clearly has. Replacing Amber Heard and Michael Keaton isn't enough if the rest of the movie is Wonder Woman 84 all over again. We'll keep you up to date with what happens with Aquaman as we learn more, but for now, let's head on over to what's going on with The Flash. Last we heard, Ezra Miller was on the run, having gone underground. And insofar as anyone on the outside knows, he is still on the run, choking out women and serving Kool-Aid to his cult-like followers like it's nobody's business. According to our sources, the decision of exactly what to do about him and the Flash has not yet been made, as Warner's focus right now is on Aquaman 2, where reshoots are in progress as we speak. They will have to decide soon though, and the option of reshooting The Flash as well, with the intention of removing every single frame of Ezra Miller from it, remains on the table. We'll get back to that when Warner does, so for now, let's check out the bucket of cold water that Snyder fans recently got thrown in the face. Going into the weekend of the San Diego Comic-Con, Snyderverse fans were very excited about what might be revealed as Deadline Hollywood, an industry trade considered to be reliable, went far towards suggesting that Henry Cavill would make a surprise appearance during the DC panel and Man of Steel 2 would be announced, as part of the implied restoration of the Snyderverse. Watchers of Midnight's Edge, however, might have noticed that despite our extensive DC coverage, we did not run with this seemingly big story, and the reason for that was that our sources hadn't heard anything to suggest there could be any truth to this. Lo and behold, the weekend came and went, but no Cavill appeared, nor did any Man of Steel 2 announcement, and everything that did come out of the panel kind of seemed less interesting for it. So what's going on? Well, let me bring you up to speed. We know nothing. You are now up to speed. To elaborate on that a little bit though, David Zaslav has made it clear that he wants to get Superman right and use him to the fullest, and you would think that would mean Cavill. But what Zaslav really needs is someone who will clear his schedule whenever he calls for the next 10 years, and who ideally won't demand the very top of Hollywood billing for it each and every time, like Cavill no doubt will. Keep in mind, Cavill declined a cameo appearance in Shazam because he demanded a bigger overall Superman deal, which the previous regime wouldn't give him. So between money and scheduling requirements, is there a middle ground where Cavill and the new administration can hash out an agreement? Only time will tell. On that note, time will also reveal what's in Affleck's new agreement. Remember I said that with The Flash, Affleck had fulfilled his contract? Well, that means a new agreement had to be signed for him to appear in Aquaman 2 at all. But was that deal for just that one appearance, or does it cover more appearances beyond that? No one on the outside knows, but there is clearly a line of communication there, so at this point in time, more Affleck appearances as Batman seem more likely than more Cavill appearances as Superman. With the new administration in charge though, anything can change at a moment's notice. And when it does, we'll be sure to keep you up to date about it. To make sure you never miss any such updates, please like this video, hit subscribe if you're new here, and whether this is your first video or you're a long-time viewer, please indicate that you want notifications on all videos. With that, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments.